This is Robert Martellacci, the Mindshare Learning Report here at ISTELive in Philadelphia. And I'm honored to have a Leaders and Legend at Tech Mindshare Learning Moment with Zandra Galván, the Superintendent of Greenfield Union School District and CALSA President, California Association of Latino Superintendents Administration. Thank you for joining me here in the media room at ISTE.
Thank you for
Zandra?
having me. Yes, thank you for having me.
What's it been like so far? You brought a team along with you as well?
I did. So last year I came alone, invited to speak and do some really great panels last year. And it was so great that I had to bring our team with us. So this time I brought 7 instructional leaders. We have classroom teachers, technicians, and a building principal.
You know, we met live for the first time. I follow you on social media, on Twitter, on LinkedIn. You are extremely active and inspirational leader, and you really engage with your community, and it's about storytelling and inspiring your stakeholders, your students and teachers. Talk to me about your journey and who inspired you along the way to lead the way you do. And we'll talk about some of your strategies and tips for other leaders.
For sure. Thank you for that question. So I am someone who grew up in my community. So I'm a product of my Greenfield schools that I now get to lead as a superintendent. And I would say humble beginnings, I think, is what really contributes to my leadership philosophy and being just very grateful for what we have here in life, and using every moment with others to be present in that moment and to be kind and to really listen to others. I've learned along, the journey of life, in my younger self, now with my older, more wise self, is just to be present in those moments, to engage, because life is a series of moments and you don't get those back. And so it's really powerful to, when I'm in a classroom, talk to the students and listen to what they're doing and what they're learning. When I engage with a parent in our community, stop and listen and engage and find out what they love about our district and what they think we can do better. At convenings such as ISTE like this, I love to be with others that are smarter than I am and to learn about what they're implementing in their school district so that I can then bring that back to my kids.
And that informal learning, that collaboration, that community that really has emerged here is really powerful, isn't it?
Most definitely. Interacting with folks in a professional setting when we're in our workshops and we're learning all about implementation of something, as well as outside when we're having dinner or we're socializing in a nice, setting, we still have that level of relational development. And so we get to learn, and relationship to me is pretty much everything. Yeah. Everything that we can do is supported.
I love talking off air about how you bring students into your office to do art.
Yeah.
So what inspired that?
Little things. It's the little things that lead up to the big things, and just sticking with the vision of relationships and how to engage with students. What I've done and what we've done as the school district is just done little things to amplify the voice of Greenfield. And Greenfield's not a large district. It's one of our 3,700 students from preschool through grade 8, but you wouldn't know it by the presence that we have on social media, because we are so in tune with highlighting our students. Just moments ago, my team is running summer camp with our ELO dollars, federally funded, all those great things. And kids are learning about kinetic energy and they're launching that. So we're talking about numeracy, literacy, as well as STEM.
Amazing. And the storytelling, you share the stories of what's happening in your district and how dynamic it is.
Yeah. And so with what you were saying about the painting in the office, so I asked my building principals to select, 3 to 5 students that just need a positive adult in their life and interact with them in a non-threatening way. And we paint in my office. We turn it into an art studio, and kids come. I give them pizza, a little bit of, Kool-Aid, and
Please
then
invite
we
me.
talk about that. Exactly.
That's amazing.
So it's fun stuff like that. It's the little things. Or we'll do YouTube. We have a YouTube channel and we have a presence there. We do 60 seconds in GUSD to build our brand out so people see behind the scenes. We launched it during the pandemic because parents were very curious about what was happening in the classrooms. So we wanted to highlight that.
What a super effective way to get the story out and amplify that.
Yeah, and 60 seconds clips, because we know audiences don't want to watch for long periods of time. And so being able to see something quick and just be, wow, like that's happening in the district. Yeah,
Right.
that's happening in the district. So
Talk to me about your leadership journey and mentors along the way. You're working on your PhD and you're almost done.
Almost
Congratulations.
done. Thank you so much. That's, I think your first question was exactly
Yeah.
about this and the inspiration that we get from others. I think my family is my inspiration. I am the youngest of 6. There's 9 years difference between me and
Wow.
all of them, right? And so babies are a little extra, and they all raised me with my mom and dad together. And
Amazing.
so, and Christian background, First Southern
Right.
Baptist from West Texas. And so I think just the philosophy of giving. My parents are very humble people, but also they're
Mhm.
very giving people. And so they want to make sure that if there's someone that, needs a friend, you're there. If there's someone that needs something, you're there. And so I grew up with that. But then also being the baby, my confidence level was quite high. And so they said, whatever you do when you go out into the world, you be you. Don't let anyone negate who you are. Walk
Right.
into that room as you deserve to be in that space and drive it like you own it. And that's how I was raised. And so I said, all right. So babies, that's exactly when I walk into a room, it's just wonderful to be able to see people
Amazing.
and be unapologetic about it. We are who we are, and that's our superpower. So why wouldn't you amplify your passion-driven life for others to see what makes you so happy? And I love being a superintendent. I love it. I've done it now for going in my 7th year in the district where I grew up, which I love.
You've
Yeah.
exceeded the average life expectancy and the
Yeah.
shelf life of a
Right,
superintendent.
right. I
So-
know. And so being able to do what I love and to impact where I love is a really big deal.
Talk to me. Thank you for that. Talk to me about innovation. We're here in the
Yeah.
mecca of innovation at
Yes.
ISTE.
Oh my gosh.
AI is we talked about
Yeah.
HI, human intelligence is
Yes.
not to be forgotten. But there's a lot of cool innovation. I mean, innovation isn't just technology; it's about doing things better. And you clearly have that growth mindset
Mhm.
that you've instilled within your district.
Yeah, so there's coming to a convening like this, and I just found out how many people they said were here, and it's
Right.
like 17,000 people,
Wow.
over 17,000 that are here at this convening from all over the place. So imagine the think power in this
Mhm.
space and in these workshops and in this expo theater. And so my team, I gave them two jobs, one to learn
Yeah.
a lot,
Yeah.
and number two to find things that we can buy, resources to bring back to our Greenfield kids so that they have an eye into what the world is doing. And so we already have our orders in for additional virtual headsets. We're looking at some of the spaces with the technology that we can
Right.
move mobile, some of the seating out there, but more importantly, the robotics. Like we're already
Yeah.
a partner with Apple and Lego Education and First for Inspiration robotics, but we want more. Like we want our kids, when they leave Greenfield schools, to have experienced so many things every single year that will just allow them to be
Incredible.
first in line. And we're not far from Google and Apple headquarters.
Right.
I'm very close. We're in Monterey County.
Right, and you're not far from my alma mater, Pepperdine.
That's
You're up the
right.
highway,
That's
yeah.
right. You're south, and then
Yeah.
they're right there in Silicon Valley. And so making sure that we're very intentional about what we bring into our
Right.
schools and crafting those experiences. And for many of us that are, Greenfield grown, it's a different experience that we had when we were younger. We didn't have all of this artificial intelligence, all
Right.
the technology that is now at the fingertips. And so it's my job and my team's job to make sure that we expose our students to that.
And kudos to you for that. And the theme of our conference, I'd love to have you come up and speak in Ottawa in November. It's about empowering innovative and sustainable learning environments for the future.
Yes.
For the future is what ChatGPT suggested they add to the
yes.
theme. So I leverage that.
Yeah.
It's that prompting, right?
Yeah.
Apparently, prompt engineering jobs start around $300,000. So
Wow.
it's crazy.
That's amazing.
That's a whole new gig.
And that's exactly it. And so what we've done in Greenfield also over the last years
Right.
is we've backwards mapped the industries and made sure that what we did in preschool all the way through is developing those experiences. And so a couple things, computer science,
Right.
you would think so, biotechnology, and then we're a very rich agricultural community where we
Right.
are, but it's not necessarily the same ag that we knew before. It's technology, ag and tech and ag and
Cool.
ag. And so those kinds of experiences for our kids will allow them to graduate and promote with a number of skill sets that'll be aligned to the
Right.
industries that are in our county. And so being very intentional about what we do with kids. too.
Amazing. Now, you embrace that fit leader mindset. So I have to ask you about that. And Blue Zone, you mentioned your
Yeah.
Blue Zone school district. Talk to me about the importance of balance and well-being in terms of success.
Absolutely, 1,000%. Wellness, we have to take care of ourselves. Leadership matters, but wellness matters as well. And so having that balance, oftentimes administrators or teachers, almost anyone will work themselves into the grave because we give so much to the job.
Mhm.
But you can only give so much without having that balance. You work yourself into the grave. And so
Absolutely.
having a routine every single day to be able to focus on things that allow you to have either a sense of belonging or wellness or a walk or whatever it is. I'm one that wants to change the narrative about leadership and that it's okay to exercise and post your video, because what I do for myself will then inspire someone else to do the same thing. And so we're
Right.
trying to change the narrative of what the kind of stereotypical superintendent, what does a
Right.
superintendent look like? And we ask the whole room, what does that look like? There's
Right.
certain words that are going to come out. Not necessarily will I be defined. And so
Right.
that's the change narrative that I want to do. And so if people follow me on social media, they'll see,
Yeah,
I'm
I
posting
see you all the
videos,
time.
we're doing that. And it's a movement. It's a national movement.
really
with
is.
Fit leaders that
So I'm going to
just
start
adore.
hashtagging
Yeah.
fit leaders when
Yes.
I'm rollerblading or playing hockey.
Yes, because
and,
those are the things that will give other people permission to do the same.
And that's exactly the mindset that I've posted in the past, and for that intention.
Yeah.
Not to boast, but to inspire
Yes.
and show that it's important.
Yes.
If I choose to play lunchtime hockey
Yeah.
on a Tuesday afternoon at noon, I do it.
That's great.
And I embed it in my calendar now.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, you won't get it done.
That's right.
Right?
And it's a habit. And bosses
habit.
don't cancel meetings. And so if you're a
Yes.
boss, you don't cancel meeting on yourself either. So we have to make sure
Well
that we
said.
take care of ourselves just as much. And you mentioned Blue Zone, so I'm
Yes.
just going to put a plug in for them. So Blue Zones is an international study, and they study
Right.
how to live better and live longer. And so they've
Fascinating.
adopted characteristics of, they studied across the world people who lived over 100
Right.
years old. And some of those was a sense of belonging, to move your body every single day. Eat
That
till you're
Mediterranean diet.
Absolutely. Eat until you're 80% full.
Right.
Once you go to your 100%, you start becoming, a little bit more
I
grumpy.
think I may have exceeded that.
I know. I think
Be
so
here
too.
at this-
But just the
especially-
simple things. And then what happens is we
Yeah.
align it that aligns to my core values. But now my district is a Blue Zones district. And all my
Brilliant.
schools are Blue Zone schools. And I
Right.
bought beach cruisers for every single school so that I encourage my teams to go on a bike ride at lunch,
Amazing.
to go on a bike ride after
Fantastic.
school. So little things like that make a big difference, but it allows people to adopt a philosophy of living longer. We want to live
Right.
longer and support.
Well, I'm part of a startup called Immortal with Dr. Iman Iqbal, Oxford educated PhD.
Wow.
And it's the notion is helping people live well to 100. And
Yeah,
it's
that's
about
it.
prevention and exercise. And it's an exciting time to be in education, but we need to focus on balance and well-being.
Yeah.
And during COVID and post-COVID, it's been a crisis for
So many.
well-being
Absolutely.
in many regions
Mhm.
across North America and beyond. So
Yeah.
kudos to you for all that
Thank
you
you.
do,
Thank
and
you.
so inspiring. And we love following you.
I
and,
appreciate that.
And, our community is going to benefit now of having you live here and recorded in our Mindshare report
Love it.
that comes out this Thursday. So with that, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Zandra.
And thank you for doing this and the work that you do to
Yeah.
be a model for others to be able to learn and grow.
My pleasure. That was Zandra Jo Galván, the superintendent of Greenfield Union School District in California. My name is Robert Marglanchi, the Mindshare Learning Report. Be sure to check out www.MindShareLearning to get your latest issue. And until next time, stay healthy, stay safe, and keep the learning curve steep.